Meeting will come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Township Board of Supervisors allocates up to 3 minutes during this item for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the Board of Supervisors on agenda items only. Mr. Stefanski, do we have anybody?
Yes, Judy Panas.
Judy Panasti, Green Crescent Drive, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to make this under 3 minutes, but the first thing I have to say is really important. I'm bringing it up because two people, after I had my little speech written, I had other residents call me and talk to me about this. And I was just talking to Officer Hilk about this. We have a big problem going on in Floral Hill. We've got all these kids, not all, but maybe 5, riding these bikes that are dangerous. They're going over the speed limit. If they have a helmet on, it's barely. They're looking at their cell phone. They're in the middle of the road. They don't have lights on their bikes. I had 2 people whose husband or wife, whatever, they're each person said they almost hit these kids and killed them because they're just going everywhere they want on Floral Hill. It's not like it's Green Crescent or East Point, or not East Point, Eastwood, where there's just the traffic right there. That is Rush, you've got Kevin, your trucks are coming down that way. There's a lot going on there. I don't know if there's a way that you guys can make it so that road does not allow people on bikes or scooters. I mean, the people walk their dogs, people walk there, and it's just, I've almost hit them several times too. Cause like I said, today, a kid doing a wheelie in the middle of the road, not looking, not caring, the cars are coming and going down the middle of Floral Hill. And again, it's dangerous. And when one of these kids gets hurt or killed, I was talking to Drew, it just happened in Washington. It's not going to be the person who kills them's fault. It's the parents in this township if they don't do something about it, and that kid, because these kids, they don't care. They're not paying attention. At night, like I said, no lights on the bikes. They're riding them everywhere. They're going through people's yards. It's getting really bad. We've never had this problem, but last year, I think we had a little bit of this. It started. This year, it's just nonstop, all times of the day. And I know a lot of you are for the kids. And again, how would you know this was going on? None of you live up there. So, but it's really bad. And it's going all the way down to Scout Drive and everything. I've been getting complaints from all kinds of neighbors how bad this is. So anyway, that was not what I really want to talk about, but that's a safety thing for the township. I hope you appreciate that. I just want to say great work on the data center. I mean, the township's behind you guys for that. What a great job. What a great job Dennis did, all the time and effort the board took. But, we want to hold them to that. And yet we're letting the rest of the township look like crap. And, I had 2 people tell me today, and this is the saying from Washington, PA, that makes me want to vomit. It's always been that way. That doesn't mean you don't make it better. So we have Costco coming tonight. I was at the zoning hearing board, and some of you watched that. They weren't even going to hold a hearing on it. They were just going to let them. I've been going to those meetings for years. They hold everybody accountable, and the signage, this township made a rule to make the signage smaller. Well, just because Michael's has had bigger signage, but now our rule's smaller, doesn't mean anybody that comes, then what's the point of having a new rule? Am I wrong? And I know you guys can't do anything that the zoning board did, but it was very disappointing because they tried to not even hold the hearing. Thank God for the new solicitor, because he had to stop them and say, you have to hold this hearing. And there were other things that were questionable that went on at that meeting that are disappointing. But, Tom Moore, who most of you up there remember, used to say, you pave paradise and put up a parking lot. And Washington Mall may have been an eyesore, but we had the opportunity to make that area not look as bad. That's a big part of our township. That's prime property. And it's just going to be another eyesore now with Costco. I mean, their signage is going to be bigger than what's allowed. I don't know. I didn't get to go to the planning meeting, but the other plans I saw, there wasn't a lot of green. We're making all these other places put up green and trees, and the data center has to have all this stuff. But we're letting retailers come in and make us look like junk. And this is like the time in front of you guys that maybe you can get a couple things changed, maybe not a lot, maybe make it look a little prettier. And I'd be very concerned. I don't know if any of you have ever shopped at a Costco or been to one. I've been in them everywhere. And their gas stations tend to become a hot mess. They can go back 10 cars on each thing. George, I sent you pictures, and that was minimal compared to ones that I've been to. And that's off of a double interchange where they're going to be getting a lot of people coming and going that belong there. So I just hope that like a lot of thought goes into this. And my other concern was the people on Locust Avenue, which I know that that's not being used right now. But Jeff, I hope you appreciate this. Like when we knew they were going to open up that interchange down there, one of the things we said was, what about Manifold? We brought that up 20 years ago. What about Manifold? And nobody listens. What about Locust? Locust is not used to that. That interchange wasn't there when the mall was there. That interchange is new. It's going to draw people down there. Locust Avenue, the people who live there, those communities are all going to be affected. Can we make it that you can't make a right turn out of that area to go down Oak Springs Road and take Locust back up, so that the traffic has to go on to 70, 79 at the crazy 8 thing that we all have gotten used to. But just little things like that that are going to make a big difference in everybody in this community's life. And again, like, you know, we all sit here and critique everybody on that board, and then everybody gets on the board and does the same thing. You know, like we got to make a difference. And again, just because it's looked like that forever doesn't mean now we can't say put a couple more trees up, make sure there's enough this is it. It's you guys, and I have faith. And again, we cannot hold the data centers to a different standard and then sit there and let everybody else come in here, including Strabane or not, what's it called? Meadows Landing, and that when that comes in front of you. We have a lot, you guys have a lot in front of you. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yep, that was it for agenda items.
Motion to accept the meeting minutes for the Board of Supervisors regular meeting on May 26th, 2026. Second. Any discussion?
There's one mistake on the minutes, if you don't mind me mentioning. I think Mrs. Rumbaugh's name is Rumbaugh, not Rumba. It's on the first page.
Yeah, misspelled.
Yeah, thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. The Board of Supervisors special meeting and public hearing on June 9th, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second? Any discussion on those? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Financial business, motion to approve the payrolls for the period May 10th, 2026 through May 23rd, 2026, and May 24th, 2026 through June 6th, 2026, and bills for the period April 23rd, 2026 through June 19th, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Zach?
So looking at the waste management for the parks, and it's probably an inaccuracy in the report, but we have Billy Bell for the month at $78 and Driscoll at $497. Community parks at $574. This is for the hoppers, the waste disposal park. So something there doesn't add up. So we could get some clarification, Pete, of what's going on.
Yep, I'll make a note
Why
of it.
we can't accurately list these, if that is the case.
Kevin, would there be any reason for them to do more disposal up there?
Got charged for an overspill, something like that. Sometimes you get charges on them. I have to notify that.
I mean, Driscoll's almost the same as Community Park, and that something is not right. So with graduation season, Billy Bell, Community Park, they get the most traffic. I get that. They're getting dumped more often. Driscoll. Or the.
What was the other part? Driscoll and,
Driscoll, is it, well, I'm questioning, I'm asking it,
Oh, okay.
is it an inaccuracy, is it
Yeah.
flip flop, is it,
Driscoll is more expensive.
yeah? Almost $500, Billy Bell was $78.
So
I don't wanna know what street or is.
that could have been when I don't know when that building was, but we shut them off in the winter.
This will be for May, you know, cause it's June, so it'll be May, June.
When the rental season starts, they start emptying them twice a week on Friday, so there's a place for the cleaning person, and then on Monday, so that it's not full all week. Are we still doing that, Kevin? Once rental season starts, they go to twice a week in the
No, they
winter.
just do Fridays.
Okay.
That's all we do is Fridays. That's what I'm aware of.
Might look into that. 'Cause we used to
Yeah,
have to do
something.
it on Monday, but there'd be garbage sitting on the ground if we didn't.
Then I would say if we make it subject to audit those,
We'll just,
Yeah.
let's get an explanation of what's going on. That's all.
no further discussion. Do I hear a motion to? No. All those in favor, all those in favor. We already made the motion, my favor. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Announcements and recognition. I received a text message from Chief Kramer about some updates to the fire department buildings and some improvements. Does anybody from the fire department want to speak on that? Pardon me? Oh, is he on? Chief, did you want to speak on that?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me, George?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there wasn't too much. We were just fortunate to receive two separate grants, one from Range Resources and another that came from the Redevelopment Authority that allowed us to replace the garage doors up at Station 1, the original fire station in Pancake that was built in 1956. So anyone that's driven by there lately has probably noticed the building looks quite a bit different than it had previously. So they look very good. They are actually insulated also, which should help our heating costs up at that station as well. So we were happy to be able to put those in service.
Excellent. Thank you, Chief. Township reports and presentations. Municipal separate stormwater MS4 report. The Board of Supervisors allocates a period of time during this item for comments regarding the topics of stormwater. Each person addressing the Board of Supervisors is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Is there anybody that wants to speak on MS4? Anybody online for MS4?
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Mr. Stevens, are you handling this MS4 for us now?
Yes,
Are we up to date in what needs to be done?
this time next week we will.
That's
For
all.
for the cutoff and schedule.
So we are proceeding as required.
And I'll go over that tonight.
TJ's gonna bring it up in his engineering report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Township managers report.
yep, I just have a couple things to add other than the agenda items. I just wanted to make an announcement in recognition of the 250th anniversary of America. The township is going to be flying a commemorative 250th anniversary flag out front of the building. This flag will be flown starting tomorrow and will run through the end of August. Just wanted to thank Mr. Makel for donating the flag to the township.
You're welcome.
Next, I just wanted to remind everybody that we still have the tickets for Kennywood available here at the township building. You purchase the tickets, they will be good with no blackout dates until September 8th. September 8th. So if you have any questions, wherever you can call in and talk to Jolene, she can talk to you about those. Jolene, what's the cost of the tickets?
$32.
$32. And lastly, I don't know, I didn't see the article in the newspaper, but just to give an update on Locust Avenue, there was an email sent out from the township and then also by the county to District 12, PennDOT, regarding the opening of Locust Avenue. I did receive a response from Rachel Duda from District 12. And basically she said that they had put in an emergency request for procurement of funds to make repairs over there. They were awarded those funds and they are going to start work on the road as soon as possible. They do not have a end date for the construction. They said they would know better once the construction has started, or repair work has started. And that's it.
Okay. Township Solicitor, Mr. Maple?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The office has been involved in a number of land development issues with the planning commission, such as preparing developers agreements and giving advice to the township manager. We've also been involved with creating a number of different township ordinances regarding data centers, noise, and dust, etc. Just for the record, I almost have the new CELDO done. I have to proofread it. I think that's something we talked about months ago, but we put that on the back burner. But Renee finished typing it up. I just have to spend time to proofread it. We want to bring the township into the 21st century in terms of land development, because there are certain things in that ordinance that we want to address. So I just have to proofread it. I put something together pretty much with some input from a former board member, Mr. Murphy. So I just want to make sure you're well. It's going to be coming out probably next month, but so you'll have copies of it. And that's all I have to say right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could add a couple of things to that. I think it was Peters Township I heard on the news today. They're really changing theirs, and they're no longer going to allow multi-family homes and apartment buildings and stuff. And I think it's maybe time that South Trevane take a good hard look at that and the fabric of our community. And that being said, the overflow effect on our school district. So I think that needs to be taken into consideration, number one. Number two, we had talked several months ago about creating a streetlight district for Tanger Boulevard. So the property owners on Tanger Boulevard would be responsible for the expenses and the maintenance and upkeep on that, in the hotel, on all the new fixtures that the town taxpayers paid to put up. Is that, can that come back up to the top of the?
Yes, because I did talk to the person that I've dealt with before. I have an individual who, what they do is she basically, there's a process you have to go through making the calculations. So I believe I spoke to her back in February. She was kind of busy, but I will call her tomorrow and see if she's willing to start moving forward with it.
And the other thing is,
So are the lights up and working?
everything's done and working. And we got it, we were, let's just put it this way. Everybody that's previous looked at it had their opinion and their cost estimates, and it came in for pennies on the dollar compared to what we were told it would cost. But it's fixed and it's working, and everybody's happy. Okay, the next thing is, when this board shut the Parks and Rec department down, there was a lot of equipment and stuff that the taxpayers paid for. And it's my understanding there's a thought process that they were paid for with donations. The donations were funneled through the township checkbook, and the taxpayers paid for it. That stuff needs returned. And we've talked about it and talked about it. It'll soon be July. Pete, can you give us an update on that?
Yep, I will follow up with Dennis again on it. We have not received all the items, including the bigger ticket items from the Parks and Rec board. So I will follow up with Dennis to have a legal letter sent out.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, if it's not returned, it's stealing. It needs returned. It needs brought back. Thank you.
Is that everything, Mr. Bull?
Yep.
Okay. Unfinished business.
No township engineer. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, TJ, Jeepers. Yep, Township Engineering report.
All right, everybody, just a few things to pass along and as far as updates go. I did touch on this last month, but we are inspecting up at Burkett Manor as needed for the sidewalks. There was a full day of inspection there today. They did 5 of the single family house residence sidewalks today. So when Ryan Holmes contacts us for inspection, we provide an inspector. We will be providing you all of those field records on a monthly basis now that that work's resumed. So I'll be sending that information to Pete and he can get it filed so you have all the documents that we have on that. We did have a pretty productive meeting on Friday with the developer there, talked about some outstanding issues. There's some action items for our office to take care of as a result of that meeting. So those are in progress. And when I hear back from PennDOT, I'll let you know as to that particular liquid fuels question from that meeting. I did call them today. I didn't get an answer yet. So when I hear back, I'll funnel that through Pete also. Items 2, 3, and 4 on the engineer's report, I don't believe I have an update on at this time. Item 5 is on the agenda, so I'll hold off on my comments on that until we get to that point. And then I did want to touch on MS4, since that's a topic that our office has become more involved with over the last month or so. I did pass out to the board 2 documents. The first is the one on South Strabane Township letterhead. It's the public education and outreach mailer that was sent to all of the folks on the target audience list. This is a yearly task that we're not sure if it's been taken care of in the past, but it was taken care of this year. So that copy is for each of your files. I'll have more copies for Pete to have here at the office, but the public education and outreach mailer was taken care of. We did also put together the target audience list that has all of the businesses, institutions, churches, and so forth that make up that target audience list so that those folks receive all of this public education and outreach information. So we sent out about 245 mailers to take care of that task for the township. Those went out on Monday. And then the other document that you have in front of you is a summary sheet. It's 2 pages long. I'm not going to go through everything on it, but basically I've broken down what tasks Bankson has completed relative to the MS4. And there's a couple tasks remaining that need to be completed by June 30th. We will take care of those before the end of the month. And then we'll move into the process of preparing your annual report and working on your pollution reduction plan as well. But we were authorized to help with this at the beginning of the month. I felt it was time to give you folks an update on what we've accomplished. And that summary sheet explains what's been done to date and what will be done to, as Dennis mentioned, maintain our MS4 compliance for the year. So unless there's any questions from the board, I think that's all that I have to report this time.
A couple of things.
Sure.
Were all of the township records returned from the previous engineer on MS4 and the projects that they were working on?
We have just about everything from them. I reached out to one of the engineers just to make sure that we haven't gotten anything that wasn't given to us, but I believe we have just about everything we needed from them. I don't think they reached out and sent you anything, so.
I didn't receive anything else. I don't know if.
But both electronic and hard copies?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I know we gave you a lot of assignments last month.
Yeah.
The road off of Locust, Farley, had you a chance to look at that?
I started to look into it. I need to probably talk to Pete and figure out a better sense of where that got left in terms of the highway occupancy permit. I know there were a number of cycles of comments from PennDOT, and I'm not exactly sure where we left that, but with the MS4 deadline, that was my top priority here this month, and we need to dive into that.
And
Farley
rightfully
next.
so, but we've actually, I believe it's been a year since we committed to those people that we were going to make a change, and we haven't done shit. And I know it's not our fault, but a lot of it's PennDOT, but it's time to fish or cut bait on that.
Sure.
You know, if we have to do it our way, and get it done. Let's get it done. School's going to start. You've got a dangerous situation there. It's
Yeah.
dangerous for the people that live there.
Okay.
Please, on that one.
Yep, we'll get to that next. Yep.
And the other thing is, Jim's here from Bradford Run, and I believe you're the president of the HOA board, correct? And Jim has shared with us that the owner of Bradford Run has made a lot of commitments to us about things that they're ready to get going again, and they're going to meet with the township. Well, Issaquah is what, 4 months old now? 5 months old? Okay, Issaquah hasn't done anything. They've made zero effort to meet with the township. They've made zero effort to clean up any of their MS4 issues, any of their stormwater issues, to clean up any issues. And have you heard anything from them?
We've not. We've reached out on 3 separate occasions, and the last time was certified mail, which is not yet been acknowledged.
Have they answered us?
No, not to this point.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I have a concern that the South Jabane is going to be left holding the bag on that one. And I'm going to make a recommendation that if this township can move to put a lien on the property they have left, a municipal lien, hopefully that would be in front of the other liens that's on it. Unfortunately, all of the land for the retention ponds and all of the land for the residents, it was all part of that property that was up for sheriff's sale once. And that cannot be allowed to happen.
Agreed.
And I know we went through COVID, but COVID's been over. It's again, we don't need a repeat of past mistakes, and hopefully not under our watch. So, Mr. Solicitor,
I suggest what you do at this point in time if you want. And again, I know we did, the data center was, I think we're looking at now, that's over with, but if you want to make a motion to add to the agenda, a motion to authorize the solicitor's office to review the Bradford Run file.
we did that.
And wait, I'm not done yet. And to take the appropriate legal action against the owner / developer. Then we could, if you want to make that motion, then we can start the process.
Well, I'll be glad to do that under new business. You're okay with that,
Yes,
George?
yes.
All right. Now, I'm gonna make another suggestion here. Because things seem to slip through the cracks around municipal government, not just South Trevane. Can I make a suggestion? We have something called old business that we have on our agenda from now on. And somebody that works for this township has to account to this Board of Supervisors every month as to what has happened or what hasn't happened and why. And that would include the solicitor and the engineer and the manager. Because I don't think it's fair to the supervisors who depend on them to be blindsided when catastrophes happen. Is that fair?
Yeah. But now keep in mind one thing. Before I came here today, I was looking at the PSAT's news article that came out today. And the state Senate made a motion to approve and approved an amendment to Act 65, whereby we're going back to what we were doing for a long number of months now, where we can no longer add to the agenda. So I just saw that before it just passed the state Senate this afternoon. So keep in mind, we can add stuff, but we're reverting back to where you cannot add to the agenda except in minor situations. So I'm just making sure you're aware of that. So we could put that on the agenda, but we need to start making, when we do our agendas, we have to keep in mind motions or agenda items have to be put on there for us to vote on. We're going back to what we were doing for about a year now.
If we keep it under old business, does that allow this board to bring it up and talk about it?
You could talk about it. I don't know, the question is about making motions on it, but that's be my concern. I have to see what the new legislation is.
All right.
I'm just making you aware of that.
So we get the information, we can vote on it the following month or whatever.
Or it can
If
co-
needs-
yeah.
It's for discussion, so it doesn't
Yeah.
fall through the cracks.
Right,
To get a
right.
follow-up
Right.
of
But that's what unfinished business
just
is.
a summary of these things being taken care of.
Okay. So Dennis made a motion?
No, I recommended a motion. I recommend you add to the agenda. Jeff's gonna do that at the end.
Okay, make a motion to add to the agenda.
Well, he's gonna do that. What you did now, you wanna do it at the end of the agenda, Jeff?
Well, it doesn't make any difference.
It's up to you. It's your, I
Okay.
can't.
we'll
We have a
wait
couple
till-
of things to add, and I think that,
Okay, we'll wait.
I'm just afraid that, we're gonna be stuck holding the bill on that if something doesn't happen.
Correct. All right, we'll just wait until the end.
Any other questions for our office at this point?
Yeah. Left turning lane coming out. Market.
Yeah,
We have winter maintenance on it. We're not responsible for that road. We're not taking care of it.
That's
There is
correct.
a Axle breaking pothole. for the people going over in the other lane. There is going to be an accident. I'm sure people have seen that.
okay,
They're in and out of there every day. And Kevin shouldn't be going down there and fixing that because that's not ours. That's
Agree with that.
liability if there's an accident. Is there any way they can contact?
yeah,
Right away before.
yeah. I have a meeting with the developer actually tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to talk about that emergency access situation that we briefly talked about previously. So I'll bring it up to him then.
Okay.
Ask them to fill that.
People going in the wrong lane. It's not good. It's big.
Okay. Yeah, that's a private road right now and it's under their ownership, so they should be the ones to repair it.
Thanks.
It's my opinion.
There is a scene, I'm not sure where PennDOT leaves off and the developer takes over. There is a seam in the asphalt and it's right into that seam. But somebody has to be responsible and take care of that.
Yes,
They're in and out of there every day.
and I'm with you fully. It should not be the township at this time. Somebody other than the township.
Right.
All right. Anybody else? Thank you all very
Thank
much.
you, Mr. Stevens. Yep. Under unfinished business. Here's where you would come in, Jeff. The unfinished business. Nothing? No unfinished business? No.
Yeah, if we could just
Going forward.
list the stuff,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Under new business. Letter A, motion to approve and a revision to the final land development for 7970 Associates to construct a warehouse club and fuel station at 301 Oak Springs Road in the C2 General Commercial Zoning District. Is there anybody here that wants to speak on that?
Do you have the PowerPoint, or if not, we could just go off of this? All right, sorry. All right. Like we typically we have a little PowerPoint for you folks, but that presentation is in front of you. Or so. So my name is John Wright with LSSE, represent the engineering firm for 7970 Associates. It's good to see you all again. Little agenda items for us. I'm going to introduce you a little bit of this project team we have. I'll go through the timeline of the project, talk about the revised land development, and show you the architectural elevations there in your pamphlet. Again, myself, I'm John Wright with LSSE. Tonight with me is Jeff Ishida. Jeff is the Vice President of Real Estate for Costco. He's here tonight. He came in from Virginia to meet you all for any questions, as well as, I don't know if you remember Miss Kelly Kester here. She's with BL. She's a partner, friend of the firm. She represents Costco on their civil engineering side of it. Mr. Nate Phillips wasn't available for us tonight, so he's here in spirit. So introduction wise, we know back in March 22nd, 2025, we got the warehouse club, even though Russell got the word Costco out of me after 9 hours of talking, approved for the plans. Due to changes at Costco's programming, we decided it was best to come in front of you all with a revised land development. What happened, I'll show you on the plans as we walk through this. As such, everything's been submitted to you folks in the Conservation District for revised MPDS. I'll show you on the timeline where we're all with that. At this time, phase one of the structural wall demolition is near completion. They're just waiting for the occupancy permit at Harbor Freight. Once that happens, they move everything to the Harbor Freight. The rest of the mall comes down. I think you see that the existing restaurant was taken down and they're prepping for the I guess it would be the little oil and gas store that was there for a little bit. Maybe I think it was the liquor store at one time, maybe. But both of those are ready to go. So underneath the project timeline, phase one demolition, that started in February 2025 and got awarded. As you can see over there, we're substantially through phase one, about to end that. Land development conditional use approval was last spring. NPDS was submitted and approved. If I'm going too fast for you, just let me know. Okay, all right. That was approved in June. Then we came back. You had the subdivision that was also approved. That's been since the last time we talked recorded. So that is official. That's on the books, the recording of the subdivision. Conditional use got extended. That's when I was in front of you last month in May, asking for the conditional use extension. And then the land development was recommended earlier by the Planning Commission for approval. We have an anticipated approval, hopefully with you folks tonight. We've been working with TJ's group to work through some comment responses. We have a comment response in, and we could talk about the final outstanding item that was in part of his letter tonight with you as well too. An NPDS modification is in for the expansion that's happening on the site. So we anticipate that probably by next month, we should have our timeline to have that approved through the conservation district as well too. So we'll be wrapped up land development and NPDS for Costco to take over the site. Phase two demolition will start again as that comes down. And then once everything's through there, we get this through, Costco will eventually come on through, get their building permits, start their construction cycle, and we'll see a new beautiful building going up. So revised land development, I gave it in your packet. The very next page is just an overall site rendering. In reality, what changed from the last time you folks saw that was when we came in with the revised subdivision plan that took over the additional property. That was the liquor store that was originally going to remain. That store was going to remain. They were going to use that as a construction building. Actually found out it was in disrepair. So that disrepair gave us the opportunity to clean up the property lines. You can see a red line that's going next to Home Depot coming up the drive. That's a new property line for Home Depot to ensure all of Home Depot's parking is on a Home Depot lot now. So we don't have to worry about that coming through. That was the main change that you folks approved last time. So when it happened, if we go to the next page, I can show you what changed with the building. It's actually extremely minor. The building went 9 foot closer to Home Depot, and that just required us to revise all the plans to take up that 9 foot of change. And then since we had the additional land that was to the north of the site, the amount of pumps never changed. The orientation just changed. It rotated about 20 degrees on site, and that made it better for trucks to pass through and made it for better egress and ingress for the fuel station. That's the main two changes. From an engineering standpoint, location of inlets with TJ, we went through the stormwater report. Like I said, everything that's reflected on the change for Costco's is reflected in the revised NPDS. So do you have any questions on the site for me before we go to some of the stuff on the building?
I guess my only question.
Yes, sir.
We've discussed it every time, and I think you've assured me that it's going to be done, but
Yes, sir.
it's kind of not what I'm seeing on here. You know, we had discussed, so in any of the RVs needed fuel, that they wouldn't have to come out and meander through the parking lot. to
Correct.
get to the fuel stations. We had talked about making it so they could go up along 70 and come in that way. Is that going to happen?
That no changes from that are proposed on this plan. So the previous approvals to ensure that the RVs could make it around that stand.
Okay, so they won't have to go on to the, they won't have to go into the parking area or anything,
No, unless they want to, but yeah, they would not have to.
that they can come around the back.
Come around the back of the building. Yes, sir. Yep.
I think that's important for safety.
Absolutely. That's the side of the building that held. It just moved 9 foot closer.
If I can ask a question, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
Now, I know when this thing first started about a year or so ago, pre-TJ, but we're going to have Costco is going to be the owner applicant for call it the Costco side of the development. Am I correct?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Then we have the back portion where we have the RV.
Yes, sir.
Who is going to be the owner applicant for that?
At this time, it's still 7970 Associates.
So, and I don't recall, I've been so busy with some other things.
Yeah.
So we'll need to have two agreements, one with 7970 for the back portion, correct?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Developers agreement. And now since we have Costco involved in the Costco portion, we'll need to have a developers agreement for the Costco portion. Am I correct?
Yeah, at the time of takeover and at the time of the purchase.
And
of the
when will that
property.
occur, by the way?
So now that the subdivision is recorded, I think, right, Jeff, I believe we're waiting on approvals. And
Give me an idea.
I believe.
Because I know I have to get the
takeover.
office moving on it.
Yeah, I
'cause I
believe
don't want
takeover is in
Mr. Bull get
August. Is
mad.
that correct? Yeah, yeah, takeover is August and September is when they officially take over the property.
All right. Also, Mr. Stefanski, if I can ask a question, we also have escrow agreements. Are we using the escrow agreements with the 7970?
7970, yes,
All right. So when Costco comes along, then we'll have to do an escrow agreement
correct.
with Costco because we don't want the taxpayers. I know we're glad you're coming, but we don't want the taxpayers of South Strabane Township to put the professional bills for myself and or for the township engineer. Okay? All right. Just to make sure we know where we're going with all this.
That's fine.
When you get done, by the way.
Yeah.
You didn't give me a copy of this, so I can steal your copy when you get done. No, you keep it till you get done. That's fine. You forgot me.
Jeff stole yours.
All right, go ahead.
All right, thanks for back.
You've learned, like, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So yeah, while we're standing on this before the building,
Yeah,
after you,
I have
yes,
a
Russ.
question. I have not been down there.
Yes, sir.
for a month. Who's supposed to be left?
I will provide you a full landscaping plan to replace all those.
Okay, as long as you replace. it.
Yes, sir.
Phone call.
Absolutely. We're 100% aware of that. Yep. That happened when there was changes to Pennsylvania America on how they handled the new meter for the site. When that happened, some of those trees unfortunately went down. There is full plans ahead of you to make sure that those get replanted. Yeah, yes, sir. No, good question, Russ. Thank you. Not to interrupt you, but yeah. All right. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So this revised plan, so looking at the gas station.
Yes, sir.
You're on you said a 20-degree tilt. Now,
Yeah.
is that for site? For site vision?
Yeah.
I mean, to better with that, and then there's 24 pumps, correct? Is what you're proposing?
Yeah, so it's technically right. It's a 4x4x4 set that we're do. And
4x4, so it's 16 fuel positions, like fueling stations.
Okay.
Each has two
Two,
pumps.
so
Yeah.
that's really 30.
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
But that
Okay.
remains consistent with what was previously.
yeah.
And I like one thing that I did here. So you guys were utilizing this green light, red light.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, correct.
Have you utilized that in any of your other gas stations? Is that currently up and running anywhere?
It's pretty much an all of that.
Okay, so.
Yeah, what Zach's
call it business.
yeah, what Zach's talking about is Costco standard is that when you're pulling into the pumps, there's a red light, green light. There's a identifier that lets you know even if one of the middle pumps is open, that it's open, so that you don't have to worry about the queuing and the queuing problem that might have been brought up a little bit earlier during the public comment section. That's one of the things that's used to alleviate that, so the folks understand what's open and not. Did I say that correct, Jeff?
Yeah, because it is 4D, it's hard to see what's going on in the middle, so that indicator indicates when a pump is available.
Correct.
We've made the lanes wide enough for cars to get out and around.
Yeah.
You want the flow for that.
Losing
so the speed is not-
Okay.
All right,
got
Jeff.
your answers.
All right.
That's-
Appreciate that. Yeah, so on your next page starts coming to building elevations. That perspective is at the entrance to the store. That's kind of their standard as you walk up. I don't know if you folks are go to Costco as often as I do, but then the next set is the actual elevations for the store. That's looking at your docks on your far right, going across the front of the store, and then you'll have your entrance. The tire station is actually on the opposite wall. So you will drive past the entrance to get to where the tire section is. And so you'll pull in, basically pull in facing the turnpike. That's the side of the building that's on turnpike highway. And then the very final one is your elevation on the fuel pumps. You can kind of see the lights at the top that Jeff was describing earlier. Like I said, tonight, we're just seeking condition upon getting through TJ's comments and approval tonight for these folks, keep this project moving forward. And if you have any more questions for me, you will notice as well too, to just make sure that we listen to everybody in the crowd. There's hundreds of plants planted here, hundreds of plants. So this will be a very, very green site. I know, Jeff, you folks take it extremely, you take the look at your site
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
in high quality.
The thing that we take into mind is that people are paying to shop with us, so we need to make sure that when they come, it's a very, very good market. That's a big part.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we just want to make sure we listen to Judy. So,
So you're gonna have a lot of trees there?
yes, ma'am.
We'll say.
Whatever. No, ma'am, no detail. Yep, thank you.
One
Good job.
question, the sign came up earlier and
Yeah.
and it was discussed at the zoning hearing board meeting. Where is the sign going to go? Is it going to replace the existing sign in front where Popeyes is?
No, so to my knowledge, it's all building signage. It's building mounted
You're not
signage.
adding any freestanding signs?
That's correct.
So it's strictly building mounted. There is no freestanding signs.
There was no proposed free mounted sign, no.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Mr. Stevens, did you have anything you wanted to?
Thanks for the introduction there, John, the presentation. So I know probably most people behind the table right now are more familiar with this project than I am, since it was reviewed and approved previously. Our office did do an independent review when this was brought to the township for reapproval. We had 2 review letters. The first was dated May 21st. The second was dated June 3rd. On our June 3rd letter, there was basically 1 or 2 comments remaining, and the main comment was dealing with stormwater management and the proposed rain garden BMP facility that is shown on the drawings, and specifically whether or not it would have an emergency spillway. I had a conference call with John's office last week. We talked directly about the spillway, and that pond has been design has been tweaked a little bit to add an emergency spillway, which now complies with your ordinance. So our office is satisfied that that comment has been addressed, and that pond now meets with your stormwater ordinance. I did have a question, and I wasn't at the zoning board meeting about this signage, but was the variance for the signs approved? Is that? Okay. So that was another comment that we had as outstanding, is that they were pursuing this variance for additional signage, which has since been taken care of. So our office's June 3rd letter, hopefully it's in your packets. If it's not, the conclusion at the end is that we're recommending that this be reapproved, noting that we did have those handful of comments that still needed to be addressed, and most of them have been at this point. So unless there's any questions, we're recommending this be reapproved.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens.
Yep. Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Letter B, motion
Thank
to
you, folks.
approve. Thank you. Yeah. Letter B, motion to approve preliminary and final minor subdivision for the 9th Amendment to Burkett Manor, PRD Plan Number 1 for properties located at 100, 102, 104, 106, and 108 Black Oak Lane in the R4 Medium Density Residential Zoning District. Is there anybody here?
No. Just all we have here is Mr.
Nobody online?
So.
Yep.
Discussion.
Yep.
All right.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
No, but the discussion is more or less just to update everybody that this is, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is to move the parking from the front of the houses to the rear of the houses, so they have the sidewalk. Is that what this is? Or the
That's
100?
TJ. TJ, that's
No?
not it, I don't think. What is it, TJ?
I
No,
thought since this was the
this-
lower numbers.
This will be on that item that you're referring to, Zach, will be on probably for next month.
Oh, okay.
This is
Going up into the development on the left?
yeah.
This is the lot alignment.
Zach's right. They are going to
Okay.
probably end up relocating some of the visitor parking spaces at the entrance to the plan up behind the first townhouse building. They've given us a draft drawing of what that looks like, but that's not final yet, and they need to go through the process for that. So I expect that'll be on next month's agenda.
We should insist on that for safety.
I think it's a good suggestion. This item is a lot line revision. There's been 8 of these previously. They do one of these for each of the townhouse buildings once they're built. And What this subdivision is doing is just aligning the side lot lines with the party line of the townhouse so that it's accurate as to what was constructed in the field. So this is a very minor lot line revision just to adjust what was designed versus what was built. So these lines are moving a matter of inches. We did review the subdivision. Our only note on it was that it needs to have the surveyor's seal and then it can be recorded, but we're recommending that this be approved at this point.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stevens.
You're welcome.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, yeah.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried 5-0. Letter D, motion to hire the candidate for the Department of Public Works as recommended by the Public Works Director and interviewing committee, contingent upon completion of background check and completion of new hire screenings.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Kevin, did you have anything that you wanted to?
No, we went through an interview process. Gentlemen we interviewed, we're kind of looking for a specific position here. I lost two of my operators, one retirement and one moved on to another job. Going through the interview process, I think we met up with interview.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I just want to see to it that the township has revised its physical, how we handle our pre-employment. And this candidate will be the first one to go through a new pre-screening. In the past, the employees, prospective employees sought their own doctor for their own physical, and from now on, the township will order the physical and what parameters they're expected to meet. And we need to do that for all positions.
Agree. Do I hear a motion? Did you have anything?
Yeah, we
I already
did.
made the motion,
Okay.
just because Russ second.
Okay.
Just let you know.
What do you? Yeah.
Now you voted.
I have no question.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Letter D, motion to retain Marie Kaufman as a consultant to help with the financial department and training of a new finance manager at the consultant rate of $50 an hour and not to exceed 12 hours weekly. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? There was an add-on all to that also, I'm sorry. There was an add-on to pending the agreement to the offer letter.
Right.
Yeah.
The offer letter was submitted to the solicitor for review.
Okay.
Before it goes out.
Yes, it came at 2:00 this afternoon, so.
You didn't finish it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Letter E, motion to seek professional services to advertise and seek candidates for the finance manager position.
Make that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Letter F, motion to authorize the solicitor to review the action of the zoning hearing board and take appropriate action on the behalf of the township.
You need a motion to add that to the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion?
Yeah, what's it? Clarify that a little bit. What is it? Yeah.
There's some question, I guess, some of the actions by the zoning hearing.
What is
board.
that, Dennis?
There's been some of the supervisors and some of the people raised concerns about some of the recent decisions made by the zoning hearing board. So the thing is to have me review that. And if it's something's wrong, then we can take the necessary
Okay,
action.
you reviewed that with the attorney on duty?
I'm sorry, no,
Who attends the zoning hearing meeting?
It's not me.
They have their solicitor.
Yeah.
but we can take an appeal. If there's something wrong, we can take an appeal. One of the issues involves a situation where there was, and again, I didn't participate in proceedings. I just have some information where somebody, I guess, was asking for a solar panel or something, and it's not a principal use. It's on a vacant piece of property. And to have an accessory use, you have to have a primary use. So the board wants to take a look, I believe, to see if it's kosher, if it doesn't set past practice. Now, I'm not gonna take any, that's,
You feel confident, like an independent board, you feel confident doing something like that?
I'm just saying it's off, I'm not gonna take any action unless it's warranted. And I won't do anything unless I'm asked it. So. The question, Bob, is the juice worth the squeeze?
I get you, but I'm not
I
comfortable with it.
Bob, I would make a recommendation that if you have time, you go back and watch the last two zoning hearing board meetings, and it will become obvious to you with some issues that have happened, number one. Number two, the municipal planning code rule that was broken. There's a,
And you mean the attorney's there and he doesn't correct it?
that doesn't mean that they listen to him. So, and the concern is we're going to set a precedent in South Strabane that will haunt us for many years to come,
So there's trouble.
possibly.
There's questions.
Yes.
All right, I get you. All right, I get you. I understand. Still not comfortable.
I hear you. You're right. It's supposed to be an independent board, but on the other hand,
We can only take, we can only take action if it's warranted. That's all.
So this is a motion to add it to the agenda.
Motion to add that to the agenda.
Do I hear a motion?
You did, jump in and I seconded it.
Okay, motion to,
Now you have to vote on the motion.
motion to,
You have to, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, you have to vote on the motion.
right,
to vote to add it.
Take a vote to add that to the agenda.
See, we got this new toy
We
to play
added
with, and now you're
First
making
thing
it
you
away
take a
from
vote to add it to the agenda.
State
then you
that's
vote.
what we did, right?
Now we make a motion.
No.
Now you have to add, you have to vote on the
When do we
motion.
add it to the agenda?
Motion to add to the agenda.
Now you vote on the motion.
Now, motion to add or vote on the addition to the agenda, which was to have you check on.
We
We have a motion for that.
we have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0.
Mr. Chairman, going back to the Burkett Manor issue we discussed earlier, if we could add item G to the today's agenda to consider having the solicitor take the appropriate legal action for the Burkett Bradford Run, excuse me.
Jeff,
You're adding
Mr.
stuff.
Chairman, did we add it to the agenda? Are we voting on the motion now to carry it through?
Yes.
Okay, that's our next thing we have to do, right?
I guess we're
We
gonna have
haven't
a
done
couple
that yet.
things to the
Right.
agenda.
Yep.
I would vote on
All right,
that.
okay. Well, you're adding something else?
Yes.
Yes, he's adding something else.
What we
You're
discussed.
you're gonna amend this agenda.
I think what they're doing, Mr. Weber, I think what they're doing is they're making a motion to add another item to the agenda. Am I correct, Mr. Weber?
That's what he's trying to do.
Mr.
Yes.
What we discussed earlier in the meeting about Burkett Manor, excuse me, Bradford Run, I got Burkett Manor on the brain, forgive me. Bradford Run, to see to it that the townships and the residents' interests are protected.
So the motion would be, Brad, a motion to add to the agenda, a motion to authorize the solicitor to review the Bradford Run and take the appropriate legal action involving Bradford Run. That's your is that what you're saying, Mr. Poole?
Yes.
All right, I need a second to that motion.
Do I hear a motion to add to the agenda?
Yes.
Second. Do I hear a motion to approve the motion that
You have to
have the
vote.
solicitor,
You have, sorry,
Then we got to vote on that.
you have to
one.
vote on that.
yeah,
You gotta vote to add it, then you gotta vote to approve
right.
it. All right, what are we doing first?
We're voting to, we already added it.
Okay, good.
We're voting to approve it.
No,
Do I hear a motion?
I'm sorry, Mr. Rowan, I didn't want to cause a headache. You've made a motion second, now you ask for the vote. When you add to the agenda, you have to make a motion a second. Once those motions are made, Robert's rules requires you to vote on the issue. Okay? We vote now to add that. So we have two motions, a motion to add, and then we,
Which I just did,
but you need to vote on the issue.
right.
So now just, now,
So I'm looking for a motion to, I just vote on it?
yes, you have to vote on that. Then we vote on, this is Act 65, how it's so confused. So we have to,
That's not how I read it, but okay,
I do this all the time. So
okay.
now we vote on the issue to add that to the agenda. All in favor?
All those in favor to add that to the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
So how many things we have to the agenda right now? Just those two?
So for F and G.
F and G. Now we need to make
Make a motion
to authorize
to authorize
the
Dennis
solicitor to review
review things for
Bradford
Bradford
Run.
Run. Do I hear a motion on that?
and take the appropriate legal action.
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Let's see. The Township Board of Supervisors allocates 3 minutes during this item for those individuals that would like the opportunity to address the Board of Supervisors on any matter.
I have 3 people signed up, Mr. Chairman. Judy?
Well, let them do their first.
Okay. Jim Kearns?
Good evening, Jim Cairns, Bradford Run. Appreciate you adding that to the agenda again tonight and for voting on it. It's my understanding that the certified mail has been sent out by both the solicitor and the engineer. Did anyone get those green cards back? Did they at least even acknowledge receiving it? Receiving the
is?
certified mail?
Sent one after last meeting, and we sent another today. We sent electronic after the meeting.
Okay.
We sent certified today. We
Okay.
sent 3 total. This last one was for.
And you haven't sent any certified yet?
No, what I'm gonna do is they've authorized me to review the record before you leave, after the meeting, before you leave. I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Because then I'm gonna start processing your case.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's a situation where we have a 1.5-page developers agreement.
No, you have a well-written
good?
developers
Good?
agreement for
Okay.
phase 2 and phase 3
That was,
there.
that was Jabane now, so.
I think your office wrote the
Yeah, that's
developers
right.
agreement.
It's pretty close.
And that was one of the things that I just wanted to highlight, that, South Strabane is the only entity capable of enforcing that agreement. So if they're not answering you guys, they need to be held accountable for that. I know the DEP had to allegedly send a constable to bring him to the table, and I don't know if we're gonna have to do the same thing, but if we gotta do it, we gotta do it.
That's what we're gonna pony up.
And then I'll let you know that, at least every month so far, they have updated us that they are intending to meet with South Strabane Township.
Who is?
Greg Angelides.
And how does he do it? How does he
He's
update?
not doing it. Well, he
No, how does
he
you
updates
said every
us.
month so how does he update you on that?
So John Quigley is through his agent,
So
and
does he email or
in-person attendance at our HOA meetings, because he still holds 2 seats on the HOA board. So every month, we get an update from him, and it's always, we intend to work with South
do you
Strabane
take
Township.
written minutes of those meetings?
Mhm, we do.
Can you get me copies?
Yes, I can get
I'll
you
talk
those.
to you, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Get that today.
So, yeah, so I was telling Peter, what it was last week or something, that allegedly on the 22nd, they were coming to town to meet with the DEP. And then their intention was to also meet with South Strabane Township. Nobody has heard from them at South Strabane Township on if they've tried to schedule a meeting. And, the irony is that they can't just drop down and expect to hold a meeting, but I appreciate keeping that on the forefront and trying to hold them accountable. So,
Yeah,
thank you.
Mr. Kearns is correct. We have not heard anything from him, and DP was not contacted. So
Oh, you talked to
that,
DP? They
yeah, I
haven't
had
either?
asked them as of that date. They didn't tell me if they met on Monday, but as of last week, no.
Yeah, allegedly they gave us the name of Peter Birch is who they're trying to meet with the PADEP. And we were given a couple dates. One of those was like 6/22 for an alleged meeting that I don't know if it may or may not have happened. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Linda Rumbaugh.
Or is it Ms. Rumba?
Linda Rumbaugh, Burrell Drive. I actually had three things I wanted to talk about. First, I wanted to ask about Dick's. Dick's was built up there and I cannot find anything on planning that they ever came to the planning board. I can't find any meeting minutes from the supervisors that you guys approved it. They just built it. If they're in the minutes somewhere, there's an agenda, maybe somebody can help me find it because I looked for it and can't find it. As far as I can see, Dick's just built. They just went up there and started building. I can't find them. Kristen looked for them for me also, and she couldn't find them either. So I don't know.
I don't recall, frankly.
So
Is Jordan
somebody
still
can
on?
maybe look into that.
Jordan was the acting township manager, but
When was that? When was
Maybe
that?
it's there, but I can't find it.
When did they build Dick's?
Last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
I think it was about
Yeah.
2 years ago when they proposed moving that.
Oh, well, maybe it could be 2 years back. I don't know, but I couldn't find anything. Then I wanted to talk also about the DEP report for Meadows Landing. I know that they had over 100 deficiencies, and I've not seen any new DEP report provided to the planning board or to the supervisors, and I don't think you've gotten a new one either. So we're giving them all the okay to start building up there with knowing well 2 years ago that they had all kind of deficiencies from the DEP.
Because I remember that, because that was a problem they had.
It was over 100.
it was 190, wasn't it? Yeah.
200?
Table?
192, something
Yeah.
like that. I mean, there was a lot of deficiencies from the DEP.
But if I'm correct, you said TJ, we tabled it at the last meeting?
They were tabled at the May meeting and that they were still working on items that year forward.
But that was not, that it's not anywhere
Right.
written that there's going to be a DEP report, I don't think.
All right,
One
just,
of our review comments, if I can, one of our review comments on that project is that they have to go through the process for the MPDS permit with DEP and they will receive review comments as part of that. So that item will be addressed as part of the state's review.
okay, the question I have though is this. Where are we in terms of the application timeline? Do we have any extensions or anything, or do we need those? Now, you know that, I mean, I haven't, it's been a while since we looked at this. If they're before some land development,
We received time extension.
so we have that?
Yeah.
So when does the time end on that situation? If you don't mind me asking. Because if we don't act on certain things in a certain time situation, it becomes deemed approved.
That's right.
So we have to be careful of that, because I know one time before we had a deemed approved on us.
Like freedom of transit.
I'm not saying a word.
I did.
Kristen's been the one handling the
Timeline?
received and the timeline.
Tell, if you can do her an email tomorrow. I guess she was off today, but we need to make sure we don't have a deemed approved on that.
Hey, TJ,
Yeah.
make sure you follow up with that, okay? That deed stuff's important.
It is.
And Mrs. Rumbaugh, and I'm just talking out loud here. It's TJ, it's my understanding that the new program, they were going to abandon all of the existing stormwater ponds, or just the one that was giving the problem down behind the Scavati property
They have a brand new stormwater management plan. So
completely? Okay. So I guess did address our engineer's concerns to our engineer's satisfaction at the time. That would have been what, George, a year ago?
Yeah.
Year and a half ago? That's when we all went up there and
With
walked that road.
KLH, yeah.
Yes. And I was hoping that we would start all over with a new slate, and I was happy with that for the simple reason, all the stuff that's been done wrong will just simply be torn out and done over. And that, I was very happy to hear that that's what they were doing. You know, but if that needs addressed before we approve anything, then that, thank you for bringing to our attention.
And another issue that I wanted to talk about was the zoning meeting. I did send letters. I'm sure all of you have gotten those. The attorney talked, not our attorney, the attorney for another resident he had hired, talked about an employee that is employed by the township. He said some pretty damaging things about her. And I'm surprised that he was allowed to do that and he wasn't stopped. But when one of the residents stood up to talk out on behalf of the employee, saying that that they didn't think it was right that this employee was being talked to like that, the resident was told that we're not to talk about that right now, that you're getting off the target, offline or whatever, was something like that.
Who said that?
Excuse me, I know what you're talking about, Jeff.
Well, that was one of them.
That stuff's going on.
That's a
That was a whole series, Bob. That was one of the series that night. We outdid ourselves that night.
But I just want to let the board know, please listen to the meeting. I mean, they're taped, and I was embarrassed for this employee. It was degrading the way this employee was talked about, and the employee sitting in the room while this is going on too. So I felt for this employee. And I hope that you guys actually sit back and take an hour and a half, it might have been a 2-hour meeting, and listen to what happened there. And I guess the thing that was most upsetting was when there was a resident that came up to talk during her time that she was able to speak. She was told, we're offline, we're out of line, we're not going to talk about that, you're going down a different road. But it was okay when the attorney was doing that. And I just didn't think, there was a lot of bias in that. Right, that was all I had to say. Thank you. Hey, happy 4th of July to everybody, because I won't see any of you guys again.
Thank you.
Judy.
Judy Panasic, Green Crescent Drive. I just wanted to say, and I thought Linda was actually going to talk about Dix and the lighting and all that, because that's my big thing is the light pollution, which is why the signs for Costco are concerned, because you can see us 30 miles away if you go to Drovers. I cannot get lost. I can find South Strabane. And I'm not even joking. It's so easy. But, Dix and everything that's gone on with that over there and the mess that area still is. Linda wasn't even at the meetings. I was at the meetings with her dad. He was a great guy, and he would stand up here and he warned the township to get bonds and this and that. This is pre-Dennis. And, like the gob piles were nice to look at than that stuff. And I think, that's like I said, we're not getting better. I want to talk about what Linda talked about at the meeting. Bob, you should watch it. I was there. I'm the person they said something about. And I stood up for Kristen because it wasn't one person. That board allowed 2 different people to talk negatively about her at that meeting. She didn't do anything. And they accused her of things. They made comments. And when I got up and said, she should be allowed to defend herself. Like, you literally are calling her out and saying she's doing something wrong, and like, let her defend herself. And she was very gracious about everything. She didn't, but then I'm told I'm wrong. But the lawyer did it over and over. And then a gentleman got approved for something that was outside of everything. Then the way they did the approval, like, nobody even knows what they voted on. One of the, I have concerns about all 3 members of that board after that meeting. I would have never said this before, but one, Linda was the one who was at the meeting prior, and they had tabled. So she should have been the one to vote on 2 of the items, and she was not allowed. The person who wasn't at those meetings voted, not Linda. They pushed her out, and she had to sit aside and had no say, even though she was there. So as the second thing comes up, The first thing goes through, the second or doesn't get approved. But there was all these negative comments towards our employees. The second guy gets up and then he follows suit and starts blaming the employee again. And his story from one meeting to the next was different. Go back and watch the meeting from 2 months ago and look at what he says there and what he says at that meeting. And they approved something that they didn't even approve it right. And nobody's listening to the attorney, because you had two attorneys on the board and somebody who's not an attorney, and the new attorney there I blame him for nothing. I do not have a problem. I think he's finding his way with that board, and he actually stopped for the Costco incident where Costco, they were not going to hold a hearing for it. They were going to just say it's okay. And again, it's in violation of all of our stuff, and everything was approved. Then why do we have anything? Well, we just wasted all that money because CNX can now come in and be like, you're letting everybody else do everything they're not allowed to do. But it was just bad. It was bad the way that was handled, the way that was talked to. And and I'm not saying that I'm always on track and I don't talk a lot. I know what I'm like, but and we all do in here, right? But there were people that would get up and say things that had nothing to do with anything. But if I got up and said anything, and that's not fair. We all have a right to talk at every meeting, no matter who we are. And I'm always there to defend somebody usually. So, it gets a little bit discouraging when you're getting yelled at and you're just there to help out the community. But I really hope that you guys take a look at that. And it was probably one of the scariest meetings. I couldn't even rewatch it if you paid me. That's how upsetting that meeting was. I've never seen anything like it. And then when somebody after the meeting goes, I don't even know what I voted on, they shouldn't be on that board. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Mr. Stevens has something to say.
Hey guys, real quick, I can clarify on the timeline for Meadows Landing.
Okay.
Came up a second ago. The application was submitted April 23rd, so we have 90 days from that point.
Correct.
Which takes us to July 23rd. We also,
Got extension from them or not?
yeah, we did receive the time extension.
How many
before
days?
Last month planning commission.
We have it ready, TJ.
So that pushes
Requested by the applicant, yes.
that pushes us into October. I'm sorry, August. So we should put on the agenda, when it comes time to put that agenda item, Pete, we should put basically on the planning commission, put, time ends on August, whatever, need another extension. That way we won't forget.
That's a good practice, just to have period on everything the day after the application and when the time limit's up. That's, yeah.
Anybody else? Supervisors, you have anything you want to say?
George, I just have one, our solicitor seems to have a concern that, just to be sure everybody's on the same page. It's my understanding that we did make a motion to amend the agenda twice. And then we made motions on each item in addition to that. So it's everybody's understanding that's what we did. And that's what the minutes should reflect. Are you satisfied with that?
Jolene?
Julie, did we vote on the, on the?
Have any record of you voting on F? You added F to the agenda, you all voted to add it, then you moved on to add G.
I think we skipped over that, Jeff.
I think you did. So,
And you never voted.
I think we skipped over it.
Then far be it for me to argue
so
with this.
just to be safe, why don't you make a motion to, this is the zoning hearing board.
No.
So just make a motion and do a second.
I apologize.
It's okay.
No, it's confusing the way you have to do
It's
it.
very confusing
It's Act 65.
when you
so-
ask for things to be put on the agenda and it's last minute. Motion to authorize the solicitor to review the action of the zoning hearing board and take the appropriate action on behalf of the township. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0.
You happy? You did it.
I would be safe.
No, this is important, so
We go have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.